Hey YT family, I'm back with another video for you, and this is somewhat of a different one. This is called life tips. So we all out here trying to survive each day in and out. And if I have a tip that can help the next person, I'm definitely trying to make sure that I send that message over. This life tip is about job interviews. I have been on plenty of job interviews and I always got offered a job. So I'm going to give you my tips, but I went a step further and I asked employers exactly what they're looking for when it comes to an interview as well. So if you want to know how to make sure that you can land that job, stay tuned. So the first one that I have is always be interview ready. Dress to impress, but not your friends. This is not, oh child, you got it. It's not one of those moments on that day. These are one of these moments where you're dressed for a 500 Fortune company. So you don't want bright colors, but you can use a splash of color. Now, this definitely depends on the position that you're applying for. If you're going for a dancer and you need these 7-inch heels, then you definitely gonna do that. But if it's not, make sure that you're dressed to impress for the position that you're applying for. So if that means flats, if that means just a small heel, you're definitely gonna do that. A lot of people say suits for women are in. I say definitely that's not always the case. I never worn a 3-piece suit to an interview. I always had a nice shirt and some slacks and some flats or some heels. I even wore suspenders to an interview, and the lady thought that that was just the cutest thing ever. So you don't want to dress as if you're going to a club, but you do want to dress to impress, like you're trying to convey a message as if I can put myself together very well. Next step, make sure that you have a strong grip. Don't go kung fu on them, but make sure that you give them a firm handshake to know that I can get the job done. Like, this is how I work. That's always a plus, trust me. Okay, next one is I got from an employer. He said he hated when people look down a lot, as if they're thinking. Now, my solution to this, and I understand exactly what he meant. In an interview process, if you're trying to think and come up with something when they ask you a question, why do you want this position? And you look down, don't do that. What you're going to do is just repeat the question and think about something while you're saying it. And don't make it so drawn out where they know you're thinking. They say, "Hi, Lex, why do you want this job position?" And I'm going to say, "Well, sir, I want this job position because I believe such and such and such and such." That is how you want to answer that question without looking down. So if there's a group of employers, because they do that now, you want to make sure that you give at least all of them a second of eye contact so they know that you're interested in talking to every one of them and not just the person who's asking the questions. Another one, have your cover letter, resume, references, and a closing statement together, stapled in whatever case that you have. Make sure you have at least 5 copies because there are group interviews. Next, have at least one question to ask your employer, at least one. This is going to let them know that you're engaging with them and they're not the only one that's asking you questions. And it can be any question. Out of all the candidates, here's a better one. For the position that I applied for, is there a possibility that there will be growth within their company where I can expand the skills that I have to better fit the company? And they're going to tell you, well, yes, there is, or no, there isn't. Okay, next one. Know something about the company and the position that you're applying for. If it's not a position that you are aware of and it's the first time applying, make sure that you have a reason why you're applying for that position. Next one. Always make sure that you have a negative and a positive about yourself, because that's always going to be a question in interviews. They want to make sure that even though that you have challenges, that you know how to flip it around. Okay, and those are the top life tips I have when it comes to job interviews. If there's anything else that you guys want me to do a life tip on that comes to everyday living, please let me know in the comments below, or you can email me at detroitbeautyview@gmail.com. Thank you again for watching, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Bye.